Hello everyone, welcome back to Mentors Academy. So today is the 25th of September 2025. And as always, we are here with the most important current affairs explained in detail with the context analysis and direct links to the exams, especially UPSC prelims and mains. So these current affairs are relevant for all your competitive exams, including the UPSC prelims, mains, EPFO, CAPF, and all the other state PCS exams as well, right? So our sources for these articles include the Hindu, the Indian Express, PIB, and other authentic sources, right? So let's begin with yesterday's MCQs first, and then let's move on to key headlines of today's current affairs, and then the articles in detail. So yesterday's MCQs, the first question was, with reference to the Representation of the People's Act 1950, consider 1. It deals with the conduct of elections to Parliament and state legislatures. 2. It provides for the preparation and revision of electoral rolls. Which of the above are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So the correct answer to this question is option B, that is 2 only, right? So the statement said it's one step, it deals with the conduct of election. This is incorrect. That is covered under RPA 1951, not 1950. The second statement is correct. It says that it provides for the preparation and revision of the electoral rolls. So this is correct. The second question was, consider the following about cold start doctrine. 1. It is an Indian Army strategy for rapid mobilization. 2. It was officially adopted in 1971 during the Bangladesh Liberation War. 3. It is linked with limited conventional war under a nuclear umbrella. Which of the following are correct? 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer to this question is option B. That is 1 and 3 only. Statement 1 is correct. It is indeed an Indian Army strategy for rapid mobilization. Correct. Statement 2 is wrong here, right? It is incorrect because it was not adopted in 1971 but formulated around 2004. Around 2004. The third statement is correct again. It is linked with limited conventional war under a nuclear umbrella. This is correct. So yeah, these are the two MCQs of yesterday's current affairs. Now let's see today's key headlines. Let me read them out for you one by one. Just a pinch can reduce an Indian's salt overload. Wind speed of 280 kmph. What made Super Typhoon Ragasa so intense? 70,000 crore maritime shipbuilding package gets cabinet nod. Union Finance Minister launches Goods and Services Tax Appellate Tribunal GSTAT. No takers yet for EV localization scheme. India prepared for quantum jump. So these are key current affairs of today's news headlines, right? Let's see them one by one in detail. The first article is about salt consumption, India's health risk. So the ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research, has flagged India's excessive salt intake with the urban average of at 9.2 gram per day against WHO's recommended limit of 5 gram per day. Very important data. Note this difference. 9.2 gram per day is Indians urban average, whereas WHO limit is 5 gram per day. 4.2 gram difference. It's a lot, right? So salt here. Salt, also known as the sodium chloride, is essential, but excessive intake increases the risk of hypertension, that is high blood pressure, stroke, and cardiovascular diseases, right? So Indian diets with pickles, fried snacks, and processed foods push consumption levels higher, right? These all include high levels of salt, so it increases the consumption level in general. So ICMR is now testing low sodium salt substitutes in Punjab and Telangana. Household cooking, not packaged food. Household cooking but not the packaged food is the main source of excess intake, right? So even small reductions could prevent a lakhs of premature death. Even the small amount of reduction can prevent lakhs of premature deaths. For prelims, it's important to connect to WHO SALT guidelines, ICMR studies, and for mains, preventive healthcare, lifestyle diseases, nutrition governance, and also behavior change interventions. Right? The next article is about a super typhoon Ragasa. Note the name Ragasa. Climate and rapid intensification. So Typhoon Ragasa, Super Typhoon Ragasa, it reached peak winds of 265 to 270 km per hour, devastating Taiwan and South China. Which region did the typhoon occur in? Taiwan and South China. Remember the region as well. So tropical cyclones, they are strengthened over warm oceans, right? Warm seas. So when wind shear is low and sea surface temperature are very high, rapid intensification happens. Climate change is making such extreme events more and more frequent, right? So for prelims, also key points, let's see key points. Ragasa, it intensified unusually fast due to high ocean heat content, a major precursor for tropical cyclones, right? So Taiwan saw a barrier lake burst and also worsening floods because of this cyclone. So typhoon, so the event highlights how winds, rain, landslides and secondary hazards combine. So for prelims, it's important to know about the cyclone classification by IMD and also barrier lake concept. For mains, climate change impacts, coastal and mountain hazard planning, and also disaster risk reduction. The next article is 69,725 crore rupees, around 70,000 crore rupees for maritime and shipbuilding package. Right? The cabinet approved a massive about 70,000 crore revival package for India's shipbuilding and maritime sector. Right? So India's share in global shipbuilding is less than 1%, important data, while countries like China, Korea, Japan, and they dominate the shipbuilding sector. So shipbuilding is vital for both the it's vital for both the economy and also defense and also the blue economy, right? So this package includes a maritime development fund of 25,000 crore, new shipbuilding development scheme to encourage industry growth, and it aims to reduce imports, boost exports, create jobs and strengthen India's naval capacity. Right? For prelims, it's important to know about the names of these kind of schemes and the value of package for especially the state PCS exams. And for mains, connect this to maritime industrial policy, blue economy, maritime security and employment generation, and also the Indo-Pacific strategy, right? So the next article about GST appellate tribunal launched. Important one, the finance minister launched the long-awaited GST appellate tribunal with hearings to begin in this December, right? So since GST's launch in the year 2017, right? Since the GST's launch in the year 2016, disputes piled up in high courts because no dedicated tribunal or appellate body existed. Businesses needed a uniform platform for the appeals. So GST here ensures uniform jurisprudence, uniformity in interpretation of the GST law, and it speeds up dispute resolution and reduces the burden on higher courts, that is Supreme Court and the High Court, and it boosts investor confidence and improves the business environment. Right? For prelims, it's important to connect this to the facts of GST, GST Council basics, and for mains, tax dispute resolution, tax reforms, federalism, cooperative federalism, and also ease of doing business. Right? The next article is about EV localization scheme. Why no takers yet? Right. So India's EV localization incentive scheme has had a weak response so far. The scheme, what is the scheme about? It is modeled on The scheme is modeled on production linked incentives required high domestic value addition. It required a high domestic value addition in EV batteries and the components. But India still relies heavily on imports for critical minerals like lithium and cobalt. That is the main concern. Right? So global firms are hesitant due to high costs, high capex, capital expenditure, and the uncertainty in the supply chains. Government may relax localization thresholds and include charging infrastructure. Right, so balance is needed between localization push and also fast EV adoption. The prelims link this to the DEV, domestic value addition, and the scheme, that is production linked incentive scheme. The mains about green mobility, supply chain resilience, and industrial policy, and also EV ecosystem challenges. The next article is about quantum technology, an important one. India prepared for a jump. So India's national quantum mission and new initiatives uh, show readiness for a breakthrough in the quantum research. So quantum technology here, it quantum technology leverages quantum mechanics for computing, secure communication, and sensing. So, India launched the 4,000 crore national quantum mission, important, very important mission, 4,000 crore national quantum mission, joining global players like the US, China, and EU. So, it plans for a quantum city near Bengaluru, right? And it focuses first on secure communication, quantum sensing before large scale computing. So defense, pharma, and material science are the priority applications here. For prelims, it's important to connect to national quantum mission, very important, its basics. And for mains, the strategic technology, research and development ecosystem, and the security implications are very important. So these are the key important articles of today's current affairs. Now let's test your knowledge with the two prelims model MCQs. First question is, with reference to super typhoons, consider the following statements. Rapid intensification of tropical cyclones is primarily linked to high ocean heat content and low vertical wind shear. In India, the IMD, India Meteorological Department, classifies a cyclone with wind speeds about 222 kmph as a super cyclonic storm. Barrier lakes are formed when river channels get blocked by lava flow during volcanic eruptions. Which of the above are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. The second question is, consider the following with reference to the GST Appellate Tribunal, GSTAT. It has been constituted under Article 323B of the Constitution. It will function as the highest adjudicating body for GST disputes with appeals lying directly to the Supreme Court. One of its primary objectives is to bring uniformity in GST jurisprudence across states. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 3 only. Please drop your answers in the comment section below. We'll be checking your responses and we'll see the answers to these two questions in the next current affairs session, that is tomorrow. We also have two mains model practice questions for you to practice your answer writing. First question is, rising lifestyle diseases in India have been linked to poor dietary choices such as excess salt consumption. Discuss the policy measures required to address this public health challenge. 15 marker to 50 words question. The second question is, the government of India has announced major shipbuilding and maritime sector reforms. Critically evaluate their role in India's pursuit of a blue economy and the Indo-Pacific strategy. Again, a 15 marker to 50 words question. Please practice these two questions, right? So that concludes today's current affairs session. We covered salt consumption and public health, typhoon intensification, maritime revival, GST dispute resolution, EV localization, and also quantum technology, all with direct relevance to your exams. So if you found this lecture useful and valuable, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mentors Academy for more such exam focused analysis. Right? So remember, every article is not just news, it's a case study in governance, economy, environment, or technology. UPSC awards those who connect current issues with the static concepts. So keep revising daily, stay consistent, and trust your preparation. Right? So thank you so much again for turning in today. I'll see you tomorrow with another power packed UPSC current affairs session. Until then, keep learning. Have a good day, you all.